So when's the last time you thought about revenge? When's the last time you thought about getting vengeance on somebody? Actually out here in old Florida coaching my Comco boys. We've been at it all day long, training, getting after it. And one of the things we talked about this morning was the power of human connection, which is our theme for the month of June for Rooftop Leadership, or the challenges of human connection, actually. But within that, every week we have a theme that feeds into it. And for this week, it's well-dressed Neanderthals. And what we were talking about was how even in modern society, at Compco, in daily life, you know, things show up that have been around for 100,000 years. Things like when you think that your resources might be in scarcity, you kind of change. You get kind of squirrely. When you think your job might be in jeopardy, you get kind of squirrely. If you see that, you know, one company acquires another company, you know, you have these in-groups and out-groups that compete for honor and status. And yes, if somebody does you wrong at work, the first thing you think is what, Justin? If somebody does you wrong, what's the first thing you want?
Revenge.
Revenge. And it's still around. It's still there today. And the point in all this is that we are well-dressed Neanderthals in many ways. We've evolved a lot socially in our culture. We think that we're above and beyond all of the, you know, that kind of primal behavior. But the fact of the matter is we are still, at our core, just as primal as we were 250,000 years ago on the continent of Africa. And the reason that's so important to know is that if you're going to engage people, if you're going to lead people, if you're going to create a movement in your nonprofit or get people to buy your product or buy into your vision at Compco or anywhere else, you've got to understand that at a basic level, the people looking back at you are primal. The people looking back at you are skeptical. They are worried about their status. They're worried about their honor. They're worried about whether they're in the in-group or the out-group. And if you start throwing a bunch of change at them, if you start upsetting the apple cart, all of that fear-based behavior is going to show up, right? And not only will it show up in them, it'll show up in you. I was talking with another one of the Compco leaders today, and he was talking about how it was actually cool to hear how some of that had showed up in his life and he hadn't realized it, right? Like it can take control of you too. So if we're really going to lead strong in the world, I would leave you with two things on this video blog. One is human connection is absolutely essential, right? We sit at the top of the food chain without any fur, fangs, or claws because of our ability to make a human connection. The humans with the longest bloodlines, the humans who accomplish most in life, who sell the most products, who have the most success with their nonprofit, generally speaking, are very good at human connection. Every now and then there's the anomaly that's just a jackass and, you know, just does it all transactionally, but for the most part, that's not true. The high performers in this world, the rooftop leaders, they are normally really good at human connection. But just know, and we're going to be talking about this all month, you're going to face all kinds of challenges when you try to make those human connections. And the first one is that everywhere you look, the people looking back at you, even though they're smiling politely and they're nodding, in many cases they are well-dressed Neanderthals. And that's not a slight on them. That's simply my little, you know, semi-clever way of saying we're still primal. We are still the same mammal, the same human we were 100,000 years ago. And the more we understand that, and the more we can tie back to our nature, the more we can keep our nature from controlling us when the stakes are high, and act in a way that's different than everybody else does, right? And show up in a way that's not fear-based and not, you know, based on vengeance and all that stuff. We can control it. But the only way we can do that is to know where we come from and know our nature. So we're going to wrap it up there. Just a reminder, too, if you're not part of our Rooftop Leadership tribe, rooftopleadership.com/mastery. It's a small, cool little group of leaders from all disciplines who are coming together to talk about ways that we can move people to take action that they otherwise wouldn't take, right? It's only about $50 a month. You need to be in here with us. It's a very cool crew. So thanks for what you do. And from the woods of old Florida, I'll see you on the rooftop.